All right, guys, these are your channeled messages for, like, I'm checking to make sure my for the February 10th through the 17th, 2025 for the collective. But the messages are timeless. Whenever you find them, you're meant to find them. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Let's get it. Sorry, that took a really long time. There was so the first card out was go outside, ground yourself. Bare feet to the earth. Earth will recharge and cleanse your energy. Practice good energetic hygiene, overwhelmed and anxious. And then this card came out, like it flipped over on the top of the deck, but then like I was getting conflicting consensus on whether or not to take this one. And then when I did, it's like pull another one for this present position. Anyways, it's this seems oddly familiar. It's giving deja vu vibes. Recognizing patterns, make a different choice, evolve or repeat, connecting the dots, figure out why this is occurring and what options you have to change. You're not stuck or trapped. And then the card that came out after that was the bigger picture. Zoom out. This is much bigger than you currently see. View things differently and shift perspective. They just wanted to point out, on this card, it being the this seems oddly familiar, evolve or repeat, and I'm wearing my evolve or repeat shirt that you can buy in my merch shop. But they wanted to point that out. Seems like a repeating message here. And then the last card that came out is let it go or let go. Holding on can do more harm than good sometimes. Stop resisting this. Let it go. So it's like this, like I said, this, when I was pulling the cards out, the energy felt like, outside of that first card, it felt like resistance. And it, I mean, you could visibly see me, like, because it feels like this is how the collective is feeling. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously I'm swimming in this energy right now. I'm in it, and I try my best to not project out that far. And recently they've kind of reeled me in to where my foresight is within the near future, like a month, maybe 2 months out max of what I'm tapping into. But this being in the present position where I had like the conflicting with the two cards, it energetically within the collective consciousness right now, it feels heavily like we're being pulled in multiple directions. Like there's multiple ways, paths that are being laid out before us. And there's also like a lot of people wanting to pull us in different directions, like our energy being called to different directions is just what it feels like. And it's like we are having to right now decide what's most important, like hone our energy in the most important tasks, projects. I hate saying like people, but do you know what I'm saying? Because it feels like I see it like a horde of people. I said this on previous things, but there's it feels like a lot of incoming energies who, for lack of better words, need your light or need the medicine that you have. Right. And it's you've got to have boundaries, and you've got to have barriers and blocks, and you have to be able to, you have to be able to I don't want to say like categorize, kind of rank, what's most important right now energetically. There's this thing of people who have chronic illnesses, we call it like the spoons, depending upon like you only have so many spoons a day. So say like for example reasons, you only have 10 spoons a day. If you have 10 spoons, each activity throughout the day requires a certain amount of spoons. So taking a shower, 3 spoons. Combing your hair, brushing your teeth, washing your face, 3 spoons. Like going for a walk, 2 spoons. Doing household chores, laundry, folding clothes, putting clothes up, 3 spoons. Right. So like this is an example. And then also people who have like ADHD or neurodivergent minds, there's a thing of like switches. How many buttons does a task require you to push to just start the initial task? And it's like you're having to use one of these two example charts to plan out your day's energy based upon one of those two examples, on whether or not, like, how many, when you wake up, how many spoons do you have, or how much bandwidth does your brain have this day? And then look at like the invisible board or the actual board in front of you, the whiteboard in front of you, and decide, okay, so this task or this project requires this many spoons, this many buttons to complete. And they're telling me to make this chart. You need to make this chart. Write it out on a whiteboard, or on a, you need to make this chart of frequent tasks that you need to complete in a day. and how many, based off of your own energy, how many buttons or how much energy does it require of you, so that you can best plan your day more effectively. Because you need a, I can't even say like, but you need like you need structure, but not everybody else's structure, because it's it's the biblical example of, David and Goliath, with putting on the armor. Once he went out there with the armor that man made for them, and said, this is what you need to wear in order to go out here and do the battle, he couldn't perform, he couldn't do anything, so he had to take all the armor off, and then he could go out and slay the giant, right? It's like this. You can't just do what works for everybody else. You know what I mean? And so this is where you're having to find what works for you energetically, mentally, and physically, because it feels like you're stalling out, like you're burning out, and you're getting frustrated because here are all these tasks before you, but like you literally have nothing to give into them, or you're giving into them, but then you're exhausting yourself in the process. And it's because, again, you aren't like everybody else. Like you're not meant to be doing things like everyone else, and you can't function the way that everybody else functions. And I understand how this world was made, and it was it was made for only one type of being or mind to function, but you don't fit that. And as such, you're having to create your own way of being, doing, acting, thinking, functioning, existing right now. So you need to make this chart for yourself off of how much energy things require of you to do. And then once you have that base work, that groundwork, that foundation of, okay, this is how much energy this particular task is going to require of you, you then can very efficiently plan your day around what tasks you're going to do based off of your energetic reserves from that time. You need to be able to plan your day effectively based off of the aforementioned. Whatever projects you have coming about, you can then adjust and decide what days you're going to do what projects. And on those other days that you're not doing those projects, you can then pick from that whiteboard of things that you are going to do, be it house things, be it personal things, whatever the case may be. But there's so much changing around you in your world right now, and you're kind of all over the place, and that's to be expected. I mean, because they're what you knew is really not there anymore. It's no longer there. You're not there anymore. And so you're in this, like, riding the rough seas until you can get like carried to the new island that you're being taken to. And it feels like you're doing the best that you can to allow yourself to go with the waves, but they're rough waves. And anytime that you go through these big changes in your life, but not even just in your life, it's within yourself. You're changing at a very rapid rate, cellularly, energetically, physically. Your body and your mind and your energy and your soul is changing. Anytime you're going through these great amounts of shifts and changes and evolving, you're going to be tired. So you don't need to like overcomplicate and add to that tiredness by trying to like put your star peg in the circular hole that it wasn't meant for, and but it's like I said, I say it frequently, you're learning to drive this like very advanced high tech spaceship from and going from this base model like a Honda Accord or something, like a really really old school car, like and then all of a sudden you're like here driving this spacecraft. It's all the buttons and all the gadgets, and it can go at the speed of light, but like it's like puttering around because you don't know how to drive it yet. So you're in this process of trying to figure out your craft, your spacecraft, your mind, your energy, and how things work for you. And it's a process, but on the your inner world is reflecting your outer world, or it's and so externally also there's a lot that's changing with you and in your world, in your life, and it's requiring you to see the bigger vision of what's happening, because it feels like you feel like it's just a shit storm, and you're like not making any progress, or your the things are just effing up and it's just all bad, or X, Y, and Z, and it's not. Everything is really happening for you for the greatest good of all, and there's so much beauty that's coming from the changes that are taking place right now. You're having to just keep your focus on that zoomed out perspective, on the bigger picture of why you're here, why you're doing these things, why you have this spark within you to be doing what it is that you even started out to do in the first place, regardless of the nuances that come up along the way, right? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you feel passionate about the things that you want to be doing or that you are currently trying to do? Why do you feel that way? And come back to that frequently, because it does. It feels like you're frustrated and like flailing in this. It's not even like you're not even flailing, like it really is. It's the best example I can give for it is this: you're just this single person out in the North Sea, getting beaten and battered back and forth, and you're just doing the best that you can to keep your head above water and to just roll with the the currents, as rough as they may be, right? But it's very much this. I like I feel it, and it does. You just have a lot of motion and a lot of people, wanting to interact with you, and it feels like you want to be like, just leave me alone, and it's you need to go you need to go outside, because you're overwhelmed with all the changes, and I understand it, and it's not like it's not an unreasonable reaction. It's not an unreasonable way of handling everything, but you need to go outside, and you need to try your best to work on coming back to the here, coming back to the now, coming back to the present moment, because that will also help you stay grounded and centered in the right here, because it's your peace is within you. And I think that's I think that's more so why you're like agitated, is because you're having to be in the physical world more than you'd like to be. You're having to interact with others more than you would like to be, because you like being within yourself. You like being just in in here, introspecting in your temple, and you feel irritated. It feels irritated having to deal with all of this. It just feels like you're in high demand, or you're like stepping into becoming very high demand. And let me sorry, right. So side note here, they also want to say you can be high demand, but people need to be paying for your it just feels like a lot of people want to come to you and get like free shit from you. And that's also irritating you because you know you're gonna have to start telling people, I can help you with this. Here's my booking link. Here's this, whatever the case may be, because it just feels like amongst these people seeing your value and your energy, you're going through this energetic upgrade with all that's happening with you, and people can detect even more so this happening. And so like people are coming in, it's like the last week's video where I was like moochers en route. It feels like this because you're going through these energetic upgrades and things, and your signal is radiating out there and your light's shining even more so with that authentic signal pinging. It's like I said, a lot of people coming in wanting to see what the shiny object is that they've seen from afar, is all about, see what you're all about and dip and dabble. And again, like, hey, come one, come all, but like these people need to, as your energy grows, so does the cost of having access to you energetically, spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, period. Right? Because that'll cut out a lot of this people trying to pull on your energy thing, right? Be willing to help people, but like repeat offenders of people just wanting to come to you for free whatever, free guidance, free help, free whatever this is. It feels like there's like a curve here of people that are going to have to get the, hey, you already know what I'm about, you already know what I'm able to do. Here's the link if you need something of more personalized help, or if you need X, Y, and Z. Here's this. It feels like there's a hump of people that we're used to, again, coming to you before you have this boundary, and like getting free advice, getting free guidance, getting free help, getting whatever this is here, that you're going to be like, here's the link, pick a service, whatever you need, right? Here's this. Like you're going to redirect them, and then they kind of just like fall off, or they can become paying customers, whatever they choose. But then also outside of that, there's the people who again, like it feels like a lot of people who want to work with you, or something of this nature. But you again, you just have to, number one, make it very clear, like, hey, I only have a limited amount of energy, or a limited amount of available energy throughout a day. And on, you need to have at least 3 days off in the week to relax, to recuperate, to re-energize, because otherwise you're stepping into danger zone of doing too much, and then you're going to get set back physically. People can either understand that this is how you are and this is how you operate, and get with you on those 4 days that you are up and operating, or not. And if they can't understand it, then they're not for you, and you don't need to work with them. Anybody that's trying to pressure you and push you to do more than you are physically and energetically able to do is not in alignment with your highest good, purpose, self, destiny, and timeline, and they need to be cut off. So that's also an easy way that you'll be able to differentiate what offers and what people and what opportunities are and are not in alignment with you. if you can't already immediately feel it from go. You just, there are things that are happening in your life, things that are changing, things that are shifting for you and in your life right now. And you have to be okay with letting those things change, letting things shift, letting things go. All the things here is for your highest good, really. The card that's at the bottom of the deck is it's going to be okay, even if it doesn't feel like it right now. Things are happening for your highest good. It's going to work out. It's happening for you, not to you. Have faith in the divine. And I feel like this is just something that we have already covered, because it is like I said, it feels like you're just kind of flailing right now, and you're overwhelmed by all the changes and everything that's taking place, and everybody wanting to be like in your face, hey, 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 and it's a lot for you, because you, like I said, it seems like, it feels like you like being here. And the overwhelming change of everybody wanting to come into your energy and be in your bubble, your circle, is like a lot for you. So remember to have these energetic boundaries. Remember to respect and honor your energy, and remember to put yourself first when it comes to knowing what you can and can't do. If you don't have it, you don't have it. And like, you shouldn't be trying to overextend yourself to do more than what you energetically have. Again, if you don't have it, you don't have it. Hope this was helpful. That's what I have for you guys. Thank you all for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. And until the next time. Oh, and don't forget to get the New Earth Guidebook to Healing and Ascension on Amazon. V Squad.